Hey everybody, how's it going? Happy Friday. I have to tell you, I am exhausted today. I'm just, it's been a long week, it's been a long year, but it's also like so many good things are happening. I'm so happy that all of you have been supporting me and spending time in these nice conversations. And so today I wanted to have just like a nice cozy conversation with you all, right? I'm wearing one of my favorite cozy jumpers. It also just feels like a hug. I've got my favorite cozy mug, right? I think this is my favorite mug in terms of coziness. It's super thick and heavy. It's got this gorgeous like rustic feel to it, nice and ceramic on the outside, and then it's really smooth on the inside. And I'm drinking coffee from one of my favorite beans, from one of my favorite roasters. So these beans are from Andytown and they are from Honduras. And it's just, oh my, oh, it's heaven. It's heaven in a bag. So in this cozy Friday morning chit chat, I wanted to talk to you about what I really think is, it has to be one of my biggest sort of secrets or tools for success when it comes to learning languages, but also learning a whole bunch of other things like computer science and data science and lots of topics in there, and just becoming a programmer and so many other things that I've learned, design, for example, or how to make a book and all these different things. Honestly, one of the biggest components of success has been sustained progress, however big or small, but in particular, it's those small bits of progress. It's that sustained sort of period of time, just taking one small step forward every single day. And so we're going to talk about that today. I'm going to give you some really nice examples, just have a nice cozy conversation. And I'm also going to be making a bit of a unofficial but very exciting announcement at some point in this video, so make sure you stick around. Okay, so I want to talk to you a bit about something really special that's happening to me with my Mandarin and my German studies. So many of you will know I've been documenting my personal journey in both these languages for some time now. And you know, I'm at a place right now where it's just all coming together so beautifully, and it's such a wonderful feeling. And I think that any of you who have become proficient in a foreign language, you'll know this feeling where, you know, when you first start learning a language, it feels like you're finding dots on a page, right? So you're finding dots, but every new dot is by itself. It's completely on its own. It doesn't connect to anything else. And it's really hard to make sense of the picture, right? Of what it means to be fluent in a language. And then right now, I'm at this really special phase where it's almost like every single day, I connect a new dot that then connects an entire piece of the picture, right? It's almost like every day I'm connecting things and I'm seeing the picture of fluency more and more clearly. And it's just this wonderful feeling where it's like, I'm getting there, you know, it's finally happening. And I really believe more than ever now that I will finally be able to push my German skills into those really advanced levels of fluency that I hope to achieve in the future. And the same thing with my Mandarin Chinese. But here's the thing. Many of you may have noticed that while lots of people on YouTube, you know, like to make videos always focusing on how fast they can learn a language, you know, guy learns Spanish in 7 days or whatever it is. There's always this emphasis on sort of performing, you know, and like showing off how fast you can do something. But I have been documenting myself learning Mandarin Chinese for almost, well, over 2 years now on this channel, right? So what's the deal? Why is it taking me so long? Why am I so slow at learning this language? Well, you know, the fact is that's probably a more realistic picture of what it looks like for the average person. And you know what? It's been really, really hard for me to make time for learning Mandarin and learning German. It's been really difficult to just study languages all day long like I used to many years ago. And so I've just had to be content with really small amounts of progress. But again, it's sustaining that for long periods of time. It's being okay with, okay, did I take one step towards my goal this day, this week? If so, then I'm okay with that, because as long as I can sustain this progress, as long as I'm taking one tiny step forwards every day, I know I will get there. And that has been the story of, again, almost all the things I've done in my life that have been positive and successful. And so with Mandarin, yeah, it's taken me a long time. It's taken a lot longer than I thought it would, and I'm still not there yet. But now I'm seeing this wonderful, fruitful, delightful period of my journey into, one day being a fluent speaker, a fluent listener, a fluent reader, a fluent writer in Mandarin Chinese, and that's really exciting. And so it's just been so important for me to be content with that sustained progress, even if it's really small every day. And it's the same thing with German. So let's take a look at my German tracking sheet and see where I am. So as you may see on the tracking sheet, I still have a long way to go, and I've made good progress, but it's taken me several months to just, fill in those orange boxes that you see. And I still have my graded readers to get through, still have a whole bunch of other stuff. But again, it's just, I've had to be content with, okay, it's slow going, but I just have to keep going. I have to keep taking those small steps and just sustain that over time. And here we are. I'm seeing all this wonderful progress now, and I still have so much left to do. And I just feel like I'm getting the wind in my sails. And so the contrast here is, okay, maybe you have like a month or two of just killer progress, right? You're studying a language 4 or 5 hours a day, and you're making loads of sacrifices, and you're just going for it. That's okay if you can sustain that, but the point is that a lot of people can't. And so a lot of people typically start out learning a language, guns blazing, off to the races really fast, but then they drop off because they can't sustain it. And so really the trick here, in my opinion, is you have to find a rhythm where you can sustain that, and you have to, over time, I think, be okay with, as long as you're taking a step towards your goal every day or every week, you'll get there eventually. A couple more examples for you are, my book, which I've talked about and shown a lot on this channel. It took me almost 2 years to create this book. And I have to tell you, there were so many times where it honestly felt like I was just never gonna finish. Sometimes I might even just write a few sentences in a day. Sometimes the only progress I had was like 10 minutes of just adding in page numbers to the design, seriously, sometimes the only progress I made was just showing up. It was just opening my computer and at least trying, and sometimes I didn't even really make any progress. The only thing I did was I at least came, I tried, and I then had to go off and do something else because I was just so busy and so short of time. But that project got done. I still almost can't believe I'm holding that book today, and it's been published for several years now. And that brings me to our very exciting sort of unofficial special announcement for those of you who have been watching and are still here. I'm just so excited to tell you, Journaly went into beta testing on the 1st of November. Which means we've had, several hundred people. I think we're now up to about 500 new people have signed up for Journaly, and they've been using it. And we've got over 200 posts on the platform now in so many languages, and so many people are commenting and interacting and exchanging feedback. People have said, that, you know, they're now writing more posts because they're loving the community and they're loving the feeling of publishing and engaging with other users so much. It's an extremely special moment. And so again, this is an unofficial announcement because I'm gonna wait a bit longer to make a whole video where I broadcast it to the world. But for those of you who are here right now, today, enjoying this cozy chat with me, I invite you to go to journaly.com. That's right, not .io, it's now journaly.com. And I invite you to sign up and use the platform and enjoy building a home there for your writing activities and for a lot of community stuff that's, I think, gonna be wonderful in the language learning space. And I brought that up here today because there's no other story I personally have that articulates this message any more clearly and any more powerfully. You know, Journaly is a project that has now taken me almost exactly 3 years. And almost that whole time, I had no real thing I could show any of you. And I know a lot of people thought, he's never gonna finish this. I did have some people that got quite frustrated, and I understand that. It's been a marathon, and it's not easy to work on something for 3 years, you know, with such slow progress sometimes. Sometimes it was really fast, and sometimes it was like the book. Sometimes, you know, I spent 6 hours just reading documentation or studying a certain technology or a certain thing, and that was all I did that day, and I didn't get to write any additional code. Sometimes I spent 6 hours just iterating on designs and brainstorming, you know, day after day after day, week after week. There were periods where I didn't have tangible progress that was moving the app clearly forward towards you guys all being able to use it. And I'm sure some people could criticize, you know, my approach to building Journaly. I'm sure there are ways I could have built a much lower quality platform, but a lot sooner. But I am so happy and delighted with what we have today. And I think that considering it's only a beta version of an app, I am so, so proud of myself and people I've worked with, like Ryan. Ryan is a phenomenal friend, a great mentor, wonderful person, and an absolutely spectacular programmer who has really helped me with so many important things. And of course, my alpha team, any of you who are watching, I love you all. And now everyone who I'm inviting to join beta. I'm so proud of everybody. And that project could never have reached this stage. It would have never been completed. It would never have seen the world if it weren't for a really long period of sustained progress, no matter how small, every single day. And I think that couldn't be more true than it is for learning a language. Okay, everybody, thank you all for watching. I've had a really nice week interacting with all of you. I love all your comments, and yeah, let's have a wonderful Friday. Good luck with your language learning. Please let me know in the comments how it's going, and I'll see you next week on Monday for another really nice video.